I'm back, and we've got grime legend in the house, Holla man Jendor. Yes, people. Yes. Listen, all I can say is this, yeah. If you follow grime, which captured the hearts of millions, which I think I've definitely seen a little resurgence of people that, you know, are starting to really remember and appreciate, you know, really what grime did for the UK, for music as a whole. So again, I just want to say a RIP to Jamal Edwards as we start, you know, to even be able to even sit here with Jendor is amazing. So we're going to do the Dominic Kelman podcast handshake. So what it is at the top you go one, the bottom you go twice, and the top. Boom. So one more time. Boom. Everyone knows about nice. If I'm on a zoom, I'm nice. Take two. Hey, listen. Hey, everybody. What are you saying, Jendor, man? Listen, thank you so much for coming down.
Yeah.
Again, as you came to the door, I said, I still can't believe this is happening.
Yeah.
So first things first, how are you, bro?
I'm doing amazing, man. Thank you for the warm welcome. You get me? Big respect for that. You get me? I appreciate it.
So, we're gonna go through your whole story because I think everyone deserves to hear actually how pivotal your role was in some of the foundation of the actual style of rapping that you were doing, MCing, I would say, on grime. And the effect that you had, you know?
Yeah.
So let's go from scratch. Where was you born?
I was born in Kingston, Jamaica.
Oh, so you was actually born in Jamaica?
I'm a born Jamaican.
Okay.
It's because I grew up here from like 5 years old. So,
Okay.
like, by the time I've grown up, you wouldn't really realise the difference. You get me?
I understand, yeah. Like accent and stuff like that, it's not really going to be affected at that age, you know?
Exactly. Remember, I'm growing up in the UK from like 1990. So people also born after that in the UK technically are more English than them.
No, I understand.
Because I've been, you get me?
Yeah.
I've seen England in its earlier days, you know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah.
So, what part of London was you born in?
What part of Jamaica you mean? So I was Jamaica, Kingston. And when I came to England, I grew up in Lewisham Borough.
Okay.
The whole time.
Okay, so you're from Lewisham.
Lewisham.
So, what was it like growing up for you in Lewisham? Like, what type of you was you? What was going on?
I don't know, like boys will be boys, man. Like I was a good kid, but I was just a popular kid. You get me? Funny, you know, crack jokes and that. Just out and about, you know, like you know what boys do, man. Chirps, girls, them days there. You know, the young days at Trocadero and that, when Trocadero was around. Do you know what I mean? Running around taking girls' numbers, you're right there, there's little gang warfares on the road and...
We used to call it, my cousin used to take me, he's from Beckton, so he used to take me to anywhere, like a shopping centre, it's like Ilford, Romford, and he would call it gash hunting. Yeah. And he would make me literally just go and just try and get as many numbers as possible in the shopping centre.
Like for example, see Lewisham Borough, yeah? Lewisham Borough's got like 10 different areas in it.
100%.
And they're all neighbouring areas. It's like areas you can walk from one area, you're in another one, you're in another one, you're in another one. So our area, like, it's got a lot of epic legends from that area.
100%.
So when you're from Lewisham Borough, like, you can grow up very closed off to other boroughs because so much things is happening in Lewisham Borough.
I understand.
Everyone knows each other. So I grew up in Lewisham Borough, you know. That's what a lot of people from Lewisham Borough have a lot of pride in that borough. You know what I mean? Blue Borough and that.
Of course. So when you was growing up, was you seeing, you know, the rivalries going on with Peckham and Ghetto and that type of thing?
Absolutely. I mean, a lot of people are affected by that.
Of course.
Just living in that area.
100%. The pain,
you don't even have to be rushed in to a gang like that.
Of course.
You know the ways there. Them kind of beefs and gangs just affect you just because you live in the area.
100%.
So that it kind of affects everyone across the board. Like when I got brought into Essentials, it was called Garage Essentials, yeah.
Yes.
So I didn't really get rushed into a gang.
Okay.
But Garage Essentials was the
State your name to.
yeah. But even before that was when the name was changed to Essentials. But before that, it was called Garage Essentials, yeah.
Okay.
And that was the main crew of Blue Borough. That crew represented Blue Borough.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So me just being in that crew, that's a crew that represents Lewisham Borough. So
Okay.
you just being in that crew alone,
Mhm.
you can attract a lot of stigma in a way,
Absolutely.
in a gang format way, where you're not even rushed into a gang. You just represent your
Yeah.
area.
Yeah. Which
So-
already you're kind of in problems
Straight away.
because of even where you're from.
Yeah. And even without that, even without you being in a known crew what's known to a specific area, you might just live in a certain area and a man say, yo, you know when a man says, what you doing right there, what end you from? Just imagine now, yeah, there's beef, say, Lewisham and say Woolwich, and you just happen to be in Woolwich for whatever reason, and a group of guys pull up on you and they be like, yo, what you saying, what you doing right there, man ain't seen you before, what ends you from? Where you come from Lewisham now, yeah?
Already.
New Cross or Brockley now, what do you say in that moment now? Do you know the wickedest thing? Before you even say anything, a man can look at your dress and be like, okay, them man are from up the road.
Do you know what? See, what you just said there, I think we should highlight that because even just your clobber, I can tell he's from Romford, he's looking a bit more east, he's looking a bit more Essex.
The way you're talking.
100%.
So you can even try to
Talking,
lie.
exactly.
You can even try to lie. So my whole point, what I'm trying to say, a lot of man has been hurt by that. A lot of man is not even around no more because of that.
100%.
Serious beefs, you know. So, but I think it's pretty died down now, or it's changed in a different way where the youths are more taking on their own kind of rivalries. But them kind of beefs from back in the day don't really exist now. Don't really carry on into now. But obviously, there's different things going on with the youths. Them, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Different little sections between the youngers and that. You know?
100%. So I know we jumped into a bit about essentials there. So let's dig into that a little bit more, yeah. So like when you joined them, so was it you who was in the crew at that point?
When I joined them, in the crew there was Remedy, NE, Pepper, DJ Elsie, Lady Shortness.
Okay.
And there was someone called Shocks, but by the time I got into the crew, he wasn't around.
Okay.
So so those particular people, and Bossman wasn't in the crew yet.
Okay.
And Kidman, like he knew the rest of Essentials, they all knew him before, but they brought Kidman in after me.
Okay.
But when they brought Kidman in, he was going straight on radio stations. I had to still listen to them, man, on radio.
Okay.
My brethren.
So were you perfecting your craft at that point?
Yeah, because I came in with a vibe like, I loved hip hop, yeah.
100%.
I still do, yeah.
Same, 100%.
And the first time Garage and that came out, I didn't take to it straight away.
Okay. Now, were you being like exposed to garage through just the normal garage, or was you listening to Heartless, or what was you kind of listening to that you thought, is this for me? Not really.
You know what it is? You remember the days that I don't smoke the reefer and that?
Yeah.
But it was a little bit before it, because I like that tune.
Of course.
But it was a little bit before that. It was, we was calling it, like me and Hyperactive was talking the other day, we was talking about the different kinds of garage. We was talking about dark garage and the happy garage.
Yeah.
When the garage was too happy.
Yeah.
No, it was too
No,
happy.
I know exactly what you're
So when
saying.
you're coming from listening to like Mob Deep,
Yeah. The
and
locks.
and that's a certain kind of
I
sound.
know you're hearing too much.
It's on two different spectrums.
ways.
So it took me a little while, and then so I'm saying that to say that kind of explains my flow. My flow was like a rapper rapping at a faster speed.
100.
Yeah.
So who was your, sorry to cut you, who was your, at that point, like who was your like
inspiration.
Yeah, like your inspirations at that point. Yeah, like to kind of as you started to rap on like a bit more of an electronic grime beat.
My inspirational rap, yeah. These are some good questions, yeah. Nas, always gonna be Nas. Prodigy, rest in peace, Prodigy from Mob.
Prodigy.
Havoc as well. Havoc's a sick rapper. I just love the Mob, yeah. I start when it comes to the locks. I started off like Jadakiss, then I started leaning to Styles. You get me?
Sheik's hard as well.
I love Sheik.
Do you know what? Everyone always leaves.
Can't not say Sheik.
You know why I like Sheik, yeah? I went for a period of time where Sheik, he went through that silverback gorilla mode and he dropped a couple of tapes and Sheik was the one.
He was moving out of bouncer the other day, bro. You know the Dipset he was moving.
And so I don't want to leave Sheik out, but yeah, big up. So Jadakiss, Styles. I said Prodigy from Mob Deep. Those were kind of the main ones, man. I mean, I appreciate Wu-Tang and that though, and then Biggie and Pac, but I like Biggie's flow a lot. Biggie's
I've
flow
said it from
abstract,
day.
and for a fat guy, like his flow is like it's impeccable. It's different.
His breathing was on point.
Yeah, it's different. His pronunciation and his flow is different. So I even still quote certain Biggie bars in my grind bars. Like I'll tell you one of them. I say, "You shouldn't be alone. You overdid it, Holmes. You shouldn't be alone." I've got that in one of my bars somewhere.
Big for me personally, I think it's kind of clear as day that Biggie was better than Tupac in terms of lyrical ability and production and as an artist. Tupac as a revolutionary as a whole, okay, his music of course was amazing, but for me, like that boom bap sound for me as well, for Biggie, it was just ready to die for me. Just for me, it clearly pushes Tupac.
I think it's the difference between saying who's a better boxer, Tyson or Ali.
Okay.
Now we know Tyson.
Okay, yeah, I understand. Yeah.
We know Tyson when it comes down to boxing. There's no one iller than Tyson, even though he took all them losses, right? That was him beating himself, But in his prime, no one can beat him. He's knocking everyone out in the first round, no matter how big they are, whatever it is. But we all know Muhammad Ali is the greatest. And I think Tupac is more like he's got that Ali energy.
Oh yeah.
And Biggie's got
his
that,
energy alone.
Yeah, and Biggie's got that Tyson energy. Remember, some of these guys, like Biggie's like the illest at rap. But Tupac transcended.
Oh, 100%.
Just like Biggie.
Just the vision alone.
Just
the
like
vision. And do you know what? It's crazy because I went into a bit of a wormhole the other day, and I went into. Honestly, I watched Vlad TV. I went into every interview about the whole story, about Keefy D snitching, about his nephew who supposedly killed Tupac. All of it. I went into all of it, and I thought, boy, these boys, the biggest artists in the world, lose their lives so close together, 6 months apart. It's craziness, man. So like when you was listening to these people, had you started to kind of hear anything, had grime properly emerged yet?
No. Get another good question. Who's grime, yeah? Music, do you know what I learned one time in my art college, I done graphic design, yeah?
Okay.
I like graffiti, so I want to take that and just graffiti for a couple
of 100%.
And you know what I learned? Art is a record of history.
100%.
Yeah?
Stamp in time.
And music is art.
100%.
Yeah? So as time goes on, the music's going to change to reflect that. Because again, it's a record of history and music is art.
100%.
Yeah? So
it's beautiful, man.
So what you're actually seeing when you look at, you're looking at the music telling a historical story of how it's being developed and its influences.
100%.
So it's gone from happy garage in a time where we're also heavily influenced by American hip hop.
Heavily at that point.
So that's gonna mix with that happy garage, and it's gonna turn that happy garage into a bit more spaced out, darker garage.
Yeah.
To accompany the the
energy,
the rap styles that were influenced by.
Yeah, because we just didn't have that yet at that period, you know.
So I think this was happening during this time, and then the Happy Garage started accommodating MCs more. Yeah, and this is where you get to the darker and the darker grime. And I think that's what's led to grime nowadays in the way that it sounds, where it completely accommodates the spit.
The inclusion of all of those different elements. 100%, definitely.
Yeah, because art is a record of history and music is art. You get me?
So, when you got into this crew now, was that solely on the basis of, quite a personal question, but is it they saw talent in you, or was it crud, or what was?
Well, it was like me and my brethren, so in the happy kind of garage time, crossing into I don't smoke the reefer kind of times, you get me? Me and my brethren used to record cassette tapes,
Yeah.
I remember we used to tape...
Just the little voice ones as well.
Yeah.
And we used
to tape other crews, but we used to link up and do our own cassette tapes, right? And we used to make tapes at DJ Elsie's house, and Elsie went to a college and he met Remedy and NE there, and they came on and done a tape. That's how I met Garage Essentials. That's how they knew about me.
I understand.
Through Elsie, big up Elsie. And we used to make these tapes, record them, and listen to ourselves. And I used to listen to myself, and I used to hate my voice.
Really?
Yeah, I used to hate.
And it's funny because that is one of the most pivotal parts of how you, I would say, got so big.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's
the crazy thing.
But that's still early times. Like that's still pre-Garage Essentials. I wasn't in Essentials yet.
Okay.
The crew that I was doing this in was like 3 MCs, including myself and the DJ Elsie, right?
Okay.
And we was called High Grade Crew at that time. And these are just my little school bridges. I'm talking like we're like 13, 14 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we're just messing around. And and Essentials wanted to get me involved around about by the time I was about 16, 15, 16. And that's how I got into Essentials. Yeah.
So now you're finding this love for music where you it makes you even want to do it yourself now. Now, what's next? Like when do you start picking up a buzz? How are you distributing your sound? Like, what's going on at that point?
Well, how did I start picking up a buzz? You know what it was like? It's like someone going football training. It's like you just go. You get me? You just go. Them days was paying to go on radio stations. There was pirate stations everywhere, all over South, all over East. There might have even have been more in South. Do you know when there's so many private pirate stations, that anyone can just set up a station in their kitchen or on their roof, or they might set up a station for 1 week, maybe. You know what I mean? So we was doing so much radio. There's not a line like this where you cross over and you're like, okay, I've got a buzz now. Maybe now, because you can go viral with something.
Of course.
Them days it wasn't that, it was like a grey area, it kind of fades in, so you don't really know when you got famous. You just know, okay, you have some level of popularity. You know locally. You don't know where does that barrier stop being locally. Is it a train station? Is it a road?
Yeah, it's crazy when you think of it like that.
You don't know. It's just one day you just look back at all the years, and it's like even what you say to me today, and you're like, bro, I can't believe you're here, Jen. Like certain things like that to me.
That must be kind of crazy.
Yeah. It's like, those little things are little indicators, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Because, okay, you can put a video on YouTube, like for me, for example, I put a podcast on YouTube and it gets 10,000 views, or it's kind of just numbers, isn't it? But when you actually like meet somebody and they're like, oh yeah, and they start saying your bars to you. Yeah. I mean, how does that feel?
And how long they've been listening to you, and it feels good, but again, it's like it's a little bit. It kind of puts you back a bit and makes you have to kind of hold the meds and really think about what kind of impact you had.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? There's no measure or bar where someone can show you a number and how many regions.
Definitely, 100%, man. So like, at this point, do you think like grime? What did you even think of it at that point? Like grime. So was grime actually moving at this point? Nah. Was there like production? Was Eskimo out and?
Grime, how can I say? It just got really busy. There was that bare crews and that, yeah?
Yeah.
You know all the legendary grime crews, yeah?
Of course.
So you got all the legendary grime crews and it was just like competition.
Yes.
And it's like going to football training every week. So sometimes man's doing it 2-3 times a week. So you're not really noticing how buzzing things are. You just know you want to be better than that guy and be like, okay, that guy.
But that is what
the competition.
That is what we're missing because now a lot of people want clout. Yeah. The energy you would have to really be on your music, to go to that manner, to face all them man, spit
bar for bar.
Bar for bar,
Survival is the fittest.
spit your bars at them in there.
Remember,
that
survival
energy
is
is
the
gone.
fittest. It's all of the guys that you see top barrish, you know. But there's times when we're all in the same rooms and that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just top barrish, just barring. So you're not really focused on where grime is. You're just focused on, okay, he's sick.
Yeah.
My bar needs to be even sicker.
Yeah,
Okay, that MC's sick.
100%.
I have to be sicker than that MC.
100%.
So that's kind of what drives your motive in that. But while you're doing all of that, obviously a scene's growing and that, but you're not really focused on that. You're more focused on what's going on.
And South in particular, obviously we had it popping in East, obviously, at that point.
Yeah.
So, what's your mindset at the point where like, okay, blowing the corners out, treading on thin ice is out, you know, are you starting to think, wait, like this is getting crazy? Channel U's there. Like what's happening for you at that point?
I think when Boy in the Corner come out, I think that kind of set a standard for grime.
Yeah,
You get me?
it really did, man.
It set a standard for grime, and you get me. It made people realise that you can actually do big things through grime music, because really all this time we're spitting in like dingy radio stations and that. You know what I mean? Labels wasn't really looking into it like that. They was trying to brush it under the carpet for a long time.
And that's what's kind of like when you really think back at that point. I remember me personally just being so, honestly, it took over my life, grime. Like I just remember saying, yes, this is it now. We've got something with UK sounding people, accents on these beats. This the energy, the pace.
The man them what used to rap in the American accents.
That's what I'm saying.
I know.
There's too much of that going on, innit? But now it's a rare thing to see that now. But it used to be a thing.
I used to be thinking, wait, I don't like this. Do you know what I mean?
No, I could never listen to someone rapping in an American accent from the UK. It's just dead, innit?
Yeah.
It throws you off straight away. Like.
And I think we as well, I feel like at that period, because I was saying the other day, we're in a music drought heavy in the UK right now, in my opinion, yeah? And I was saying the abundance of music we had from the UK,
when you say
grime, the UK hip hop.
When you say a music drought though, what do you exactly mean? Because there's an oversaturation of music, but when you say a drought, what exactly do you...
So when I'm saying a drought, because you are right, there's probably too much stuff.
Yeah.
Especially with streaming
services. I want you to, you get me?
Expound it. No, I like that. You pulled me up as well. So, okay, when I say a drought, I mean in music which is really like impacting your life.
I agree with
Do you get me? The first time, you know, there's so many songs when I grew up. Maybe it's because I'm getting older, but you know, you heard a specific song and it like changed your life instantly.
Do you know what I wanted you to expound on that? Cause I knew what you meant.
Yeah.
But I wanted you to say that so I can say this. Yeah. It's driven by like, I just say clout. Yeah. And I think the labels are behind a lot of this stuff.
Yeah,
labels push certain things, and it makes a lot of other people want to do that thing or being
just numbers. That's what everyone wants. Numbers.
What that does, it takes away the uniqueness. Yeah.
Music is not music anymore.
It takes away the uniqueness, and now you've got 100 man spitting like the same flow, the exact same flow.
Same content.
Where in grime now, how we set it, you got a man what's spitting abstract. In an abstract way, and he's sick. You get me? There's some man what don't spit that fast way how I spit, but I love the way they spit because they don't spit fast. It's slow and it's slightly off.
But
it's cold because it's unique to them. You get me?
do you know what I always said about grime? Because you know everyone always kind of tries to compare grime and drill, yeah. So I always said this, yeah, that everyone was individual.
Yeah.
That Jendor was different to Devlin.
Yeah.
Wiley was different to Kano.
That's what makes it so sick.
You know, so I always and that's another reason why you shun through, because you go to a rave now and spit them bars, it's getting locked off. You know this. It's mental.
And there's a reason for that as well.
And it will ring off forever, in my opinion. You can spit them bars, the wheel up bars you have, because those aren't your only bars, obviously. But that is powerful, mate. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you appreciate that?
Not all the time. A lot of the time I don't, because it's me in it. It's me in it, so I don't always.
Yeah, you don't get get what are they
fully,
seeing? What are they?
I mean, I do, but I'm not to the fullest extent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes, and that's a good thing. You get me?
100%.
But it keeps you humble. You know what I mean?
100.
A lot of people say, yeah, you're humble and that. So I don't want to get over like big-headed and that. So things like not knowing fully how much people appreciate it probably keeps you on a good, even kill what you need to be on anyway.
100%, 100%.
But I appreciate the people that appreciate me. Like I got super love for all of them people, man, because they see me and they show me so much mad love that I really sometimes I got to stop and just really think about it and appreciate it. You know?
No, 100%, man.
It goes much further than what money can buy. Because money comes and it goes, runs out. You can spend money quick.
I definitely know about that.
But things like that, yeah, it lasts forever. You get me?
100.
Yeah, things like that mean a lot still.
So, not necessarily politics, yeah, but so now OGs. So talk to me about like that period of your life. So, you know, you've got some talent around you now, like some serious. Not saying you didn't before, but now you've really got a team of MCs that are still well known to this day. You're putting out legendary projects, legendary lyricists.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, when I was in Essentials, right, I always wanted to do my own thing. Yeah, I always wanted to do my own thing. And then I made up this mixtape called Million Man March, yeah? And a big man at the time that I knew, D-Roll, like big up D-Roll, he said he don't like the name what I'm using for it because Million Man March represents an actual positive black movement. Okay. And I'm just spitting bare skull down. I'm spitting bare skull down. Bare fuckery I'm going with on the tape. He didn't like it and I understand him and I commend him for that at the time, but that's what made me scrap that whole tape. Okay. I see someone on YouTube saying, where's Million Man March? Has anyone found any tunes from that? I scrapped that tape and then this new name came up in my mind, OGs. Okay. And I'm still in Essentials at this time. Right. Yeah. And it was just started out as a mixtape, you know. And then what my plan was to get all the ill MCs from my ends and use this mixtape as a platform to showcase them, man. As just an attempt just to do my own thing while being in Essentials. Like, I really appreciate being a part of a group. I was the youngest one, the littlest one, bare tall man around me, and all older than me. And I was just so happy to be a part of this legendary crew, Essentials. 100%. So I big up all the Essentials, man. Them R.I.P. New Era to today. Like, I got so much love and respect for them, man. And so I had this OG's idea, and then I started a mixtape. And I said to Annie, you know what? I think we should make this a dual mixtape. Okay. So me and you, Annie, do this mixtape, and we're gonna bring the man them from our ends and what, you know what I mean? Respect us. Because a lot of man them from our ends, they wanted to roll with us as Essentials, roll with us, like jump on tunes with us. And now you're probably getting it. And this was the opportunity for them to do that. You know what I mean? And you're attracting a lot of people that they want to be a part of what you're doing because they can see it as well. You know? Yeah. So our focus was on the kind of top MCs of the crews in our areas at the time. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? So in the crews from Lewisham Borough, you had South Agents,
South Agents,
South
yes.
Soldiers,
Yep.
and Fatal Assassins.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So we kind of scoped out the MCs what we knew from these crews that we really wanted on there, and OGs. It was formed from an attempt of trying to make a mixtape.
Okay.
But they was there at all of the sessions. Yeah?
So for the people watching, in OGs was Blacks, P Money,
Blacks,
Little D,
P Money, Little D,
Desperado,
Mega Montana, Castro, that was also from Fatal Assassins.
Okay.
There was some other MCs and artists that wasn't really known to the public, like Bobby Dawes and that, his family.
Okay.
There's people that just, they was never really pushed to the forefront.
I understand.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So certain MCs, what you know, they kind of took that and kind of ran with it, and they used that to their best advantage. So you know about these MCs were some other MCs, or it was like a family.
Yeah,
You
it
know
was
what I
Doc
mean?
Rotten. No.
Doc Rotten was as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I almost forgot Doc Rotten. So if I forget anyone, like, I apologise. It's because there's so many people. That
Yeah, and again, you're going over so many different crews and people in your head.
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
So remember everyone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then there's people in the background that
Of course.
spitters as well, as I said, but just wasn't at the forefront.
Okay.
And so you just see the ones that really kind of took it and made the most out of it. That's who you know as the OGs.
I understand.
But it's a big wider family. You know what I mean?
I understand.
And so the tape OG season, yeah, that was meant to be a duo CD with me and NE and featuring everyone else. But obviously they just done more parts than was planned.
Right.
And it came out as a group CD, OG season
Okay.
volume 1. So that was the birth of OGs, and it had its own momentum. Like when I was in Essentials, yeah, me and NE used to go off and do our own things, you know, used to go and hustle together, you know, do all kinds of crazy stuff together. Then we'll come back to Essentials.
Yeah.
You know, we'll have our meetings, do our shows, and then on our personal time, on our own time, we'll go and do our own crazy stuff. You know what I mean? It's my best friend, and when we was on our own escapades, we'll be on the motorway and I'll be playing some crazy bandit tunes. You get me? I'll be like, everybody knows we're OGs. Everybody knows we're OGs. And it's so repetitive because I'm making these bars while I'm driving.
While you're driving, yeah.
You know
Some of the best things are happening when you're just driving in your car, you know what I mean?
Yeah, everybody knows we're OGs. And we're just thumping these rhythms. Everybody knows we're OGs. And on top of that, we're OGs. And get down, get down, get down. That's why it sounds so repetitive. And we're just on a vibe, do you know what I mean? Me, Annie, and my brethren crew in the back. So that was our vibes. And yeah, and it just turned into a bar that all the team would say everybody knows we're OGs, and on top of that we're OGs.
And you know what's mad as well is like that name. It wasn't corny either. Do
OGs.
you know what I mean? It wasn't corny.
No.
Like, because you know, in the UK you can call a crew a name and then maybe 20 years down the line you think, oh, that name was a bit whatever. But it really stamped and.
It was
shone
very
out.
thought about. I thought about it very, very well. I had a thought process behind it.
Definitely.
I knew that when people hear the terminology OG, they're gonna think original gangster.
Okay.
So I know mentally I'm halfway there, and all it is just the letters have to represent something that represents, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So at first it was organised grime.
Mm-hmm.
Just as a spin-off of the word organised crime, but organised grime.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then
to be fair, that was what Dr. Rotten sent for P Money, organised grime, which I can't lie, I thought was heavy. How did you find the feud between them two? I've got to say that is one of the best battles I've ever seen.
I don't really want to comment on it too much because
I understand.
You know what I mean? Like, it happened. And man, then went back and forth, but I'm not gonna be cheering them about.
But yeah, it's because it's just very close to home.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I'm just glad that no one was seriously hurt. It was just music, and that's the big man way to really look at everything.
Definitely,
you know
and the lyrical performance from both these people. I'm sorry, it's and that wasn't even too long ago when you really think about it. Maybe
A few years ago.
yeah, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, possibly. But again, through the pain, this is the other thing with grime. You know, a lot of people dealing with frustration, anger, pain. The music that's coming out from all of this.
Because
It's just, you know.
Don't get me wrong. Yeah, I've said for that. There'll be people who be like, you're not watching it and be like, yeah, Jen, but you said for Dot, like, you slumped him on a couple of things, and you know what I mean. Again, it's music. It's like family members, couple of family members squabbling.
Yeah.
Man might not agree on something or have the right perspective on something, but you get me. After the tunes and that's laid, really and truly, I want everyone to go home to their families and just live a healthy life.
No, 100%.
But I might just have a perspective on something, and I might put it on a tune, and that perspective might not just represent my perspective, but the family of Emmys, and they might want me to say something on behalf of them as well, and I might not like the way certain things is done and it's put on a tune, because it ain't been able to be sorted out on the phone, or you know what I mean.
No, 100%. So OGs,
Yeah.
right? So we're in this situation now where, are you seeing like the power of all these different MCs of what's going on at that point? Is it just mixtapes at that point?
No, we dropped OG season volume 1, and the tunes was playing. So the last thing I was saying things about basically how man was in a car, and I was saying everybody knows we're OGs, at the time I was in Essentials, and get down, get down. And those are how them bars was made. That's why they're so repetitive.
Yeah.
Man's driving, right? And so I was in Essentials them times, and boom. So all them bars was made while I was in Essentials. So